coaches and the faith that they showed in each other, and what we just did against a good football team, coming off of, in my opinion, the worst we played in my tenure as a head coach. To rebound like that says a lot about our perseverance and our toughness and our willingness to change and get better. And it happened in all phases out there. And there's a lot of things that people don't understand that we're doing differently, but we are. And it was a team win, and a lot of things went into it. It did not turn the football over on offense, and had some explosive plays. KC obviously explosive. Peyton Wilson's pick touchdown, huge play in the game. Obviously, we won by 7, and that was the difference. Braden continues to knock kicks through, and our punter is a weapon for us. Really took their return game out. But just, a lot of negativity people say out there. I get a lot of text messages, ignore the noise, and I don't look at it. Because the true people that care about this program have been believing. And for those people, I hope you enjoyed that win, because that took a lot to get these guys back up and for them to fight the way they did. And I couldn't be more proud of them. And very appreciative for the support of these players and coaches and Boo Corrigan and Ruffin. And yeah, man, really just the way these guys have kind of put their arms around each other and fought, and where our families dig in. Pretty awesome.
Pat, go ahead with your question.
Dave, speaking of negativity, heard you had a pretty passionate response to the comments that NC State was just a basketball school. How are you feeling about that now still?
Yeah, I mean, for a guy that lives in Charlotte, he's got his head faced west to Utah all the time, which, I understand, and no disrespect to him, but he disrespected our program, and I'm not going to let people do that. These kids have worked their butt off. We've won a lot of football games here, and in my tenure, I think we're 2nd or 3rd in the ACC in wins in football. So, he can take that and put it where it belongs. But this is not a basketball school. This is a great school that has great sports, and football is one of them. And so, yeah, if he wants to come see me, we can talk about that. But, do your homework before you start talking shit.
Jaden, go ahead.
Dave, even though there were some imperfections, is there a sense of relief knowing that you got a positives in every phase today?
Yeah, I couldn't hear your question there. I heard the end of it, but not the beginning.
Okay. Yeah. So despite some imperfections, is there a sense of relief knowing that you got positives in all 3 phases?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there was growth. That's a good defense. You guys know that. And statistically, one of the better defenses you'll play year in, year out. And so, yeah, not satisfied by any means, happy though in some ways with some of the things we did. There was growth in some areas. The biggest thing I saw is we weren't beating ourselves. We didn't have a drop until the end there in that last drive. Didn't have any pre-snap penalties. So our efficiency that way was better, but just didn't do a good enough job in some other areas to help the defense in the second half. I thought the first half, we did enough good things, to build a lead offensively. And so, they responded in the second half defensively a little bit better than we did offensively, but there is growth there and a lot of things we can improve on, but there's definitely positives.
Ethan, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, I believe in that same post-game interview, you talked about how you said you knew that NC State was going to win this game. What about this week of preparation made you confident that y'all were going to come out with a W?
I just have to believe, you have to believe. And I believe in God and his strength and the faith I get from him. And you have to talk things into existence, and you have to block the stuff out, that leads to the negativity. And there's a lot of it, and it's disappointing that our fans are a piece of that. To me, it's a piece of you want to be great, then you have to believe you're going to be great. You know, you want to succeed, you have to believe you can succeed. And when you're planting seeds of negativity, that doesn't help. And so I'm constantly doing the opposite. You know, I have to constantly, for every negative, you have to give 10 positives. I mean, that's part of leadership, you know? And so if I'm not believing that this can happen, nobody will, you know? And so I got to walk around all day long like that, you know? And with my staff, with my players, everywhere I go, you know, just trying to breathe that into them and explaining how it's going to happen. But yeah, we talked it into existence all week. And I told him that after practice on Tuesday. I told him, I said, right now, I can tell you what I'm going to say in the press game and in the post game. And I talked about it. We're going to win this game. And so my belief is strong. And that's what you have to have, you know, if you're going to overcome the adversities that we're facing right now.
Thank you.
Charlie, go ahead.
Coach, you talk about coming out and competing regardless of the outcomes of previous games. What does a win like this of this magnitude do for your program moving forward?
Well, yeah, you know, we talked about it being a 5-game season and just to wash away the thoughts of what's going on prior to those games. And thought that was really important for these guys because it does give you hope what you can do in these 5 games. And there's a lot. You guys can do math, you know, if you went out, what that could equal. And so you just take them one at a time and you look at it. How do you finish? You know, how did we come up with a plan to beat Clemson? How can we do this, man? You know, and that was it. It was everything about that. And if you could do that, then things would be better, you know. And then, all right, now tomorrow at some point, once we turn the page, it'll be how can we beat Miami? And we're just going to keep doing that, you know, because there's a lot to play for, you know. People give up too easy and they all of a sudden, oh, this team's over. This team can't do this. Like, that's BS. You know, there's a lot of football left, a ton. And so things haven't gone how everyone wanted. Like, you forget that we had 26 seniors last year and 10 guys are in the NFL and we're replacing a lot of guys. Like, it's going to take time to get this thing rolling the right way. And it's not immediate. It's not a microwave. And so, you know, I'm proud of our team. We're going to keep being resilient and look forward to celebrating this one tonight with my family and close friends. And then tomorrow we'll turn a page.
Brian, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Speaking of overcoming challenges and adversity, the safety room seemed to really step up today. They obviously had to deal with some injuries so far this season, but the safeties with Bishop Fitzgerald had that good pass breakup. Devon Boykin was all over the field. So was Sean Brown. Just how would you describe their performance as really stepping up today?
Yeah, the secondary really, like you mentioned, Jakeem Harris, who's done a great job being out, helping the guys on the sideline. And then you see Rakeem Ashford out. Boykin has battled through a bunch of nagging things. And Sean Brown's just a warrior and so smart. Like he put him in at the end, that last drive. For people that will rewatch it, Sean was playing linebacker. He didn't practice there all week. And we just felt like that's where Peyton would be. And we'd have to cover the man or the back man to man with him. And he could do it. And super smart football player. Bishop Fitzgerald doesn't get enough credit for all the things he's doing, you know, being a guy that just got here in the summer. Those 3 guys, I appreciate you asking that, are doing a great job for us.
These will be the last 2 questions. So go ahead, Rob.
Dave, yeah, I had a 2-parter actually. My first question, sir, is this kind of the complementary football that you've envisioned? You've spoken that several times this year. And then my second question, sir, today I believe you tied Earl Edwards for the all-time wins at NC State. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, complementary football is critical. We're +2 in turnover margin, and that's why you win games. You know, you guys go back and do the homework. I'm sure Annabelle could give you the stats, but I know I'm close to 90% when we win the turnover margin, and maybe 99 if it's +2 or more. And so that is a critical factor in winning and possessing the football and not giving momentum and field position away. With regard to the record, it means a lot. I mean, that was my 100th win as a head coach, and you go through a lot in this chair, and it is a benchmark, you know, for any head coach, and to do it here, to be here 11 years and be able to, you know, go through all the ups and downs. And, you know, as a father, I think, you know, being able to keep my sons in their schools for this amount of time, it's been a win. And I said this to my staff maybe 7 years ago, when and Drinkowitz was here. We were in a staff meeting, and I said, I'm going to be the winningest head coach here, and I'm going to get that done, and I need you guys to help me, and let's talk through what that looks like. And there's a lot of people that are part of winning this thing. The head coach gets the credit, but I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of people. Sean Boone was just in the locker room, and I thanked him for the wins that he helped me get. Tony Adams on my staff, who was a center for us and a guard. There's a lot of great players and good coaches, and all of them deserve a piece of that. And so proud of it. I'd like to own it singular and not tie. So look forward to the next opportunity, but it is nice to get to 100.
This is going to be our last question, Coach. Noah, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. KC's he's been a lot of your offense this year, and today, you know, he had almost a lot of your offensive yards. You know, what did you kind of just see from him, you know, and being able to create those two explosive plays and kind of help flip this game on its head?
Yeah, the guy's amazing. He's playing inside receiver, outside receiver, running back, motion in him all over the place. He's running stretch zones, counters, every route you can run on the book. Like, his football IQ for a guy his age, I've never seen anything like it. And he's tough. And he's dinged up, and we walked off the field at halftime together, and I said, hey man, I'll give you extra time off next week. I just need you to suck it up. And he goes, Coach, you know me, I'm going to play my butt off. And you just got to love that, you know, that type of guy. And so I'm super proud of him and thankful, you know, that he's in the Wolfpack. I do want to say one thing. Just, we had a special person here visit today, and I know Jaden is writing a story about her. But Peyton Gibbs, a young lady from Florida, from Golden Gate High School, that was a assistant student coach there for her father. PJ, who's the defensive coordinator, had been on their sideline for 2 years. She's a young lady that's on the autism spectrum, and a phenomenal person, and wants to be a coach. And she came up and visited us last year, and found out about 4 weeks ago that Game Day was going to do a story on her, and they called the superintendent of schools, and those folks turned around and banned her from the sideline. And you know, I thought we had a Disabilities Act. And so I just said, you know what, if they're not going to let her do it, then we will. And she was our guest coach today. She was out there on the 50 for the coin toss, and she was down on the field with us. And I just hope everyone on this call that has social media, and that, you know, when Jaden puts that story out, that you would do us all a favor and help her push that story out to people, because shouldn't be putting roadblocks up for young people that want things, that are good people, that are doing things the right way. And that's just wrong, you know. And so for me to have an opportunity to help her, and not just her, but people like her, that's what this was about today. So hopefully, Jaden, you'll put out a Pulitzer Prize article, and everyone else will help support it and get it out to people that can help push this to Collier County and make them wake up. Appreciate it. Go Pack.
Thank you, Coach.